Welcome to Connected Farmer. Today we are going to talk about the hog backlog in the United States, a very serious situation faced by the US hog producers since the start of the pandemic. And to talk about that, we have Alan Brugler. He is here on Connected Farmer, your channel to keep you up to date with the latest trends in agriculture and livestock. Based in Nebraska. Alan, how are you today? The backlog of hogs is a problem that has grown over the last few months in the Midwest. What's your estimate about the number of herds in the United States and the number of producers affected by that?
Yeah, we've had most of the producers have been affected in one way or another because of the changes in the price structure. The biggest problems were in the Midwest, in Nebraska and Iowa and Minnesota, because that's where some of the largest hog producing or processing plants are. South Dakota as well. When Tyson and some of these other folks had to shut down, that resulted in hogs being backed up that were unable to be slaughtered. The Hogs and Pigs report suggests that we're still dealing with that, and that it might be even until September before we get caught up on slaughter, given the loss of processing that we had.
So, and how much do you think this situation is going to last? Do you think the market is going to improve so the producers are going to be able to sell these animals?
We were forced to euthanize. I was discussing this with the producer this morning that one of his neighbors had to take 1,600 hogs and that were ready for market and just kill them because they did not have a place to take them for slaughter. They just had to euthanize them. But now we're managing the situation. The Hogs and Pigs report showed that in the 100-pound category and up, which are the market-ready hogs, that we had approximately 650,000 head more than usual for this time of year. So I regard that as the backlog. It could be as much as 800,000, just looking at historical data, just in that weight category. Those hogs typically would need to be slaughtered in the next 30 to 60 days. We also have a larger than expected numbers in the 120 to 179 pound weight category. The current slaughter rate is in the 2.3 million range. The packers, prior to the COVID issue, were able to peak at 2.7 million head per week. So we know that's the theoretical capacity. I don't think they can do that right now, however, because of the changes in the line setup. They've had to put in social distancing. They've had to put in the plexiglass dividers. They can't do the quite as fast of a process as they were before. So we think probably 2.4 million, maybe 2.5 per week is the maximum. If that's true, then you can only catch up or gain on this backlog by about 100,000 per week. So that means it would take at least 6 to 7 weeks to catch up with the backlog just in those heaviest hogs. And we do have more coming. The USDA also told us that the pig crop in March through May was larger than last year.
And do you see the prices of corn as a concern for producers as well?
Well, corn prices are down. If you're a hog feeder, that's okay, right? Your input costs got cheaper. But yes, corn, new crop corn, December corn set a new contract low this week at $3.24, mainly because of we've lost some livestock consumption. We've also lost some ethanol consumption due to stay-at-home orders, people driving less. So yes, corn's under pressure as well. The hog market will find some kind of a bottom here. We'll get the pork cheap enough that either the export market will pick up or the domestic consumer will eat more pork. But at the moment, we're still trying to establish what that price level is.
The faster as the economy reopens, the better for the hog producer.
That would definitely be true, particularly relative to restaurants. A lot of your pork loins, in particular, and some of your bacon, which is pork bellies, goes to the food service industry, and so opening more of those restaurants up, opening up the schools, and opening up the sports stadiums and so forth would definitely help consumption. Unfortunately, we're still a while time-wise before all of those locations will be able to open. We may need a vaccine before everything can open.
I think you should be telling right now your customers to be more flexible. I think flexibility would be key at this time, don't you think?
Yeah, we with the hog producers, we've been trying to suggest that they stretch out the feeding process to the degree that they can, slow down the hogs, if you will. That has it costs you money because you've got borrowed money involved, but it does allow you to perhaps have a time slot where you can sell the hogs and actually get them processed. We have full hedge coverage for July and August right now because, again, we have not found a bottom yet in the market. We are not as aggressive about pricing the fall hogs yet.
Is there something else would you like to add, Alan?
Well, I think we need to be aware of the general economy as well. If the U.S. remains in a recession, if unemployment remains high, it will tend to keep prices for many of these commodities down. The encouraging thing is that it does improve our competitiveness in exports for all of these commodities, whether that's the pork and beef or the grains. And we need that global trade to help clear up the surpluses, if you will.
Thank you so much, Alan. Great to have you here.
My pleasure.